Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Monday, 1st of July 2024. This day is celebrated as National Doctors Day in India. Doctors Day is celebrated on 1st July to recognize the importance of doctors in our lives. This day also honors the medical field and its progress. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper The Hindu states that Euro 2024 Supreme Spain reached Euro's last 8 to shatter Georgia dreams. Spain players including Spain's defender Dani Carvajal and Spain's midfielder Michael Merino celebrate after the UEFA Euro 2024 round of the 16th football match between Spain and Georgia. Spain had a perfect record in the group stage with the 3 winners and no goals conceded at their best start since 2008 when they went on to win the tournament. 3-time champion Spain survived an early scare to beat a spirited Georgia 4-1 on Sunday and reached the last 8 of Euro 2024, coming out on top in an exhilarating encounter that brought an end to the Minnows' fairy tale run. La Roja will meet host Germany in the quarter-finals after sending a message of intent in a polished performance with the goals from Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Nico Williams and Dani Olmo. The role in India's higher education system, the National Testing Agency University Grants Commission Vice Chancellor Nexus needs to be examined. The National Testing Agency University Grants Commission Vice Chancellor Nexus needs to be examined. The academic year of 2022-23 was marked by unprecedented delays in admissions to all university programs because of the introduction of the National Testing Agency run Common University Entrance Test CUET regime for both undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. Initially, a CUET for PhD admissions had also been envisaged by the NTA for 2022-23, but that plan was summarily dropped in mid-September 2022. University admission administrations that had discarded the serious internal critique by teachers and the students of the blind setting of this core aspect of the university autonomy were left in the lurch. A rocky road ahead in Andhra Pradesh for Chandrababu Naidu. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu are inspecting the Amaravati capital region. Chandrababu Naidu has to deal with a huge financial crisis while also building Amaravati. And Chandrababu Naidu, a Telugu Desam party, rode on an anti-incumbency wave to power, winning 135 of the 175 assembly seats. The Pawan Kalyan-led Jana Sena party won 21 seats, while the Bharatiya Janata Party secured 8 seats. Together, the 3 parties constituting the National Democratic Alliance reduced the Jagan Mohan Reddy YSR Congress Party just 11 seats. Mr. Reddy Party, which had won 151 seats in the 2019 assembly elections, did not even win enough seats to qualify for the status of opposition party in the assembly. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Chinese rocket Tianlong-3 crashes after accidental launch during a ground test. A Chinese rocket Tianlong-3 crashed on the Sunday after an accidental launch during a ground test, its company Space Pioneer said in a statement CNN reported. A Chinese rocket Tianlong-3 crashed on Sunday after an accidental launch during a ground testing, its company Space Pioneer said in a statement CNN reported. Space Pioneer, a leading company in the commercial rocket sphere, specializes in liquid propellant rockets. According to the CNN, the incident occurred when the first stage of the Tianlong-3 rocket detached from its launch pad due to a structural failure. The rocket landed in a hilly area of Gyeonggi City in the central China. In a statement, Space Pioneer explained that the concerned connection between the rocket body and the test platform failed, causing the first stage rocket to separate from the launch pad. The Sun Times also states that curtains on CRPC as a new criminal law kick in. The government has claimed the new laws are bringing in the modern justice system, incorporating provisions such as those of zero FIRs, online registration of the police complaints, summons, though electronic modes such as SMS and mandatory videography of crime scene for all heinous crimes. The Indian Penal Code, IPC, Criminal Procedure Code, CRPC, and the Indian Evidence Act, the British-era laws that form the basis of the criminal justice system of the country for over 150 years, will cease to exist from Monday, when the three new criminal laws brought by the National Democratic Alliance (NDA), led by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, come into the force. His Honorable states that now wait for 7 days support after the replacing SIM. Mobile phone users will now have to wait for at least 7 days after getting their lost or non-functional SIM card replaced before they can switch their service provider, according to the new Telecom Regulatory Authority of India (TRAI) rules that come into effect on Monday. Now, going towards the economy of the country, from the business point of view, Indian spent 3.5 times more on foreign travel than they did 5 years ago. According to the Reserve Bank of India data, Indians took out of a total of $17 billion, that is rupees 1,41,800 crore, in 2023-24 for overseas travel under the Reserve Bank of India's liberalized remittances schemes (LRS). This is 24.4% more compared with the $13.66 billion in the previous year. Travel has emerged as the primary source of the remittance outflow from India, accounting for 53.6% of the total outflows in financial year 2024, from just 1.5% share in 2013 to 14 and 35% in 2018 to 19. However, for education via the source of the fund is a loan, there will be no TCS for less than rupees 7 lakh per individual per annum. For amounts equal to more than 7 lakh, the applicable TCS will be the same at 0.5%. For education purpose, where the source is self-funding, for amounts less than the rupees 7 lakh, no TCS will be levied. But for amounts of rupees 7 lakh and above, TCS rate will continue to be 5%. Government will improve on fiscal numbers. Economic activities will further gain momentum. MD and CEO Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC. The market buoyancy will continue as long as the economic parameters, including fiscal position and interest rates, remain stable, he says. Balasubramanian, MD and CEO of Aditya Birla Sun Life. From business point of view, Indian economy poised for potentially stable high growth phase, says Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Panel member. The current official estimate of GDP growth in 2023-24 is 8.2%, accelerating from 7% in the preceding year. Earlier this month, the Reserve Bank of India pegged the GDP growth rate for financial year 2025 at 7.2%. In terms of growth momentum and inflation trajectories, Indian economy is poised for potentially a stable high growth phase. The Reserve Bank of India projected consumer price index CPI-based retail inflation at 4.5% for financial year 2025, with a 4.9% in Q1, April to June month, 3.8% in Q2, 4.6% in Q3, and 4.5% in Q4. Retail inflation was 4.75% in the month of May. The Reserve Bank of India, which has been mandated to ensure inflation remains at 4% with the margin of the 2% on either side, mainly factors in the CPI, while arriving at its monetary policy. Going over the world news, including man recovering from shark bite on the Florida coast in the state's third attack in the month. Russia says it took over 2 villages in the Ukraine's Donetsk region. Joe Biden disastrous debate blamed on bad preparation exhaustion. A Bolivian president orchestrated a self-cope political rival, Evo Morales claims. Key party figures to know in the French election campaign. North Korea fires a ballistic missile, Yonhap News Agency. Going towards the science and tech, we have studied finds gene mutation that turns the familiar faces into the strangers. The global prevalence of prosopagnosia or face blindness is estimated to be 1.8 to 2.9% in the general population. It is one of the visual agnosia or inability to identify everyday items just by looking at them. The individuals carrying the mutant gene took much longer than the socially acceptable to recognize the people with whom they were expected to be familiar. A simple joy, often taken for granted, is to be unexpectedly run into the friend or a relative at a train station or a market. Recognizing a familiar face in an unfamiliar context or a crowded place gives most of us unalloyed pleasure. India added 641 new animal species, 339 new plant taxa in 2023. Union Ministry for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupendra Yadav, along with the Directorate Zoologist Survey of India, Dhriti Banerjee, and the Director of Botanical Survey of India, AMO, during the event of the release of the animal and plant discoveries in 2023. Kerala adds the highest number of animal species. West Bengal records the most plant discoveries. Himalayan ibex proved to be the distinct from the Siberian ibex. A new portal hosts an exhaustive checklist of India fauna. A new species of the turmeric in Manipur and a new kind of pet in Karnataka are more among the plant and animal species which were discovered in India in 2023, according to the data released by the Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav on Sunday. These are among the 641 new species added to the Indian fauna in 2023, including 442 entirely new species and 199 species which have been newly recorded in the country. India also added 339 taxa to its plant database, including to 326 species and 13 infrastructure taxa. Of these, 171 taxa are new to science and 168 taxa are new distributional records from India. A taxa can refer to subspecies or variety of plant species. Indian Space Research Organization will launch first dedicated SSLV commercial mission in 2026. The SSLV rocket lifting off on its second developmental flight from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, on February 10, 2023. The announcement was made jointly by New Space India Limited and Space Machines Company at the India Space Congress. ISRO's commercial arm NSIL said on June 26 that its newest rocket, the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle (SSLV), will have its first dedicated commercial launch when it puts into orbit the Optimus satellite built by Australia-based Space Machines Company. This mission, named Space Maitri, mission for Australia, India's technology, research and innovation, marks a significant milestone in the strategic partnership between Australia and India in the space domain, fostering closer ties between the commercial, institutional and the government space organization from both nations, the NSIL said. By combining our innovative spacecraft capabilities with India's proven launch expertise, we are not only strengthening the ties between our nation's space sectors, but also demonstrating our shared commitment to sustainable space operations, said Rajat Kulishretha, CEO and co-founder of Space Machines Company. By focusing on debris management and the sustainability, the mission aligns with the core values and objectives of both countries, promoting responsible space operations and mitigating the growing threat of the space debris. International Asteroid Day. Asteroids fly by Earth in the serendipitous celebration. In this artistic rendering, two asteroids fly past Earth. The flyby is perfectly timed to coincide with the International Asteroid on June 30. Two asteroids, one of them discovered earlier in June, passed by the Earth this week, a rare occurrence with the serendipitous timing to commemorate the International Asteroid Day, according to the space agency around the world. Crispin Karthik, a scientist of the Indian Institute of Astrophysics IIA Bengaluru and involved in the DART mission, had told PTI then that it certainly was a step towards preparing the world for a potential event in the future, such as the one believed to have led to the extinction of the dinosaurs some 66 million years ago. We are surrounded by the several asteroids and comets that orbit over our sun. Very few of them are potentially hazardous to Earth, and it is better to prepare our defenses to avoid such asteroids on a collision course with the Earth in the future, Karthik had said. At last, there's a famous quotation said by Maulana Abdul Kalam, whose full name was Abul Kalam Ghulam Muhyiddin Ahmad bin Khairuddin Al-Hassani Azad. Birth anniversary 11 November 1888 up to 22nd of February 1958, was an Indian independence activist, writer and the senior leader of the Indian National Congress. Following India's independence, he became the first Minister of Education in the Indian government. He is commonly remembered as the Maulana Azad. The word Maulana is an honorific meaning our master, and he has adopted Azad III as his pen name. His contribution to establishing the Education Foundation in India is recognized by the celebrating his birthday as a National Education Day across India. In October 1920, Azad was elected as a member of the Foundation Committee to establish Jamia Millia Islamia at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh without taking help from the British colonial government. He assisted in shifting the campus of the university from Aligarh to New Delhi in 1934. The main gate of Gate number 7 to the main campus of the university is named after him. Azad was one of the main organizers of the Darsana Satyagraha in 1931 and emerged as one of the most important national leaders of the time, prominently leading the cause of the Hindu-Muslim unity as well as thus espousing secularism and socialism. He served as the Congress president from 1940 to 1945, during which the Quiet India Rebellion was launched. Azad was imprisoned together with the entire Congress leadership. He also worked for the Hindu-Muslim unity through a Al-Hilal newspaper. Maulana Azad says a famous quotation. He says that be more dedicated to making solid achievements than in running after swift but a synthetic happiness. Okay, thank you.